Happy Friday, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late getting things started today. Coming at you live from my basement. So I don't normally stream on Friday, and one of the reasons I don't stream on Friday is because, first of all, I'm usually working. That's kind of changed. Hours have been cut a little bit due to COVID. And second, my wife works on Friday, and she is in the office on the phone almost through the whole workday. So I'm confined to my basement. I've got a little workstation, just ad hoc workstation. It's not really ad hoc because I work down here quite a bit, but it works. It's a little limiting. I'm using a Sidecar today to run a second screen. That's why you see me kind of looking off to my left-hand side. That's where I've got my iPad positioned. And turn the music down a little bit here. Yeah, so the using Sidecar to kind of control OBS and things like that. My music, secrets, all that good stuff, and then my main screen I'll use for my dev. So I just need to adjust a scene really quickly here before we get started because I do not have, oh, there we go. I do, I lied. I thought I didn't have a scene with just camera only using my out of the box or my max camera, but I do. So hi. So today, I just got back from a run, hence why I'm a little bit late, actually. It just kind of cost me some more time than I expected. So today, starting off with some beer, of course. So this is from another Toronto brewery called Lost Craft. This is a tropical radler. So it's a light beer. This is to kind of, this is my balance after going for a run. I want something a little more refreshing. So this one is 2.5%, and it has pineapple, orange, grapefruit juice, and lemon juice. So a nice radler. Let's crack this. I think I'm a little aggressive with this pour. Oh no, I should be okay. How is everybody's Friday so far? Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. Yeah, it's a little cloudy. That's a pineapple juice in there. It's really tropical. It's a really nice beer. Cheers, everybody. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I need right now. Something light and refreshing. There's a couple things I'm still just getting set up here. I don't have my chat in front of me, so I don't know if anybody's chatting yet. Let's get that going. Chat. Let me know if the music is too loud, too quiet. Good stuff. Got chat going. All right, so something is up with Twitch, perhaps. I'm just gonna take a look at this. Looks like something is up with Twitch. Maybe, maybe not. Something is up with Twitch chat. Odd. Let's see if I can get that reconnected here. Twitch settings. Okay. Well, maybe I just take a different angle on that. Doing some different things. I'm also casting to Twitter today via Periscope. So that is a little bit different. It says my video is unstable. Well, you know, kind of like me. Unstable. Yeah, apparently Periscope is still a thing. So now I can see chat, which is good. I wonder if I can hide my video here. I don't think that's helping. Yeah, perfect. Don't think that's really helping my stream quality. So yeah, Twitter live stream or Periscope. I've got that live. Okay, so I think I'm ready to go here. Let's get back into it. So one of the things I want to draw attention to, so on Tuesday, didn't have my usual live coding session. Instead, I restreamed the Rochester Xamarin group. So that's by Andrew Heffling. Andrew's a MVP and runs a group in Rochester, New York. It's an all virtual. Looks fine on Twitch, Dan says. Thanks, Dan. There was a really great session. So this is on our Toronto mobile developers page. So let me get you the better URL. So funny, there's a friendly URL. Yeah, so youtube.com/C for channel and then Toronto mobile developers. So you can see the special event here. Give that a look. So that was Cliff Aegis out of the UK. Cliff gave a talk on how he used a whole bunch of different things. So he built a bionic hand for his son's friend. He did it from scratch. So he 3D printed it. He wrote the software for it, put a board together for it using a feather, all kinds of good stuff, and wrote a Xamarin app to help send different command sequences to it. So give that a look. The quality isn't fantastic or anything because I was just screencasting a GoToMeeting chat, but you get the gist of it, and it's really cool. And congrats to Clifford. He was just awarded MVP as of today, so good for him. Okay, so let's move on to what we're working on today. So I'm gonna bring up the stream notes from last time. Stream notes. If my right window is focused. Let me know if the music is too loud. I know it's too loud on my end, so I'm gonna lower it down a little bit. I think that's actually just my headphone volume. Okay, so I think these are not the most recent notes. Let's look at my gists. Ha! Pretty sparse from last time. But we're basically back on this same track. So we're going to do some functional testing, some unit testing. So stream notes. Today is May 1st. Oh, good. That was nice. May 1st. Or I saw some people posting that was March 231st, which, yeah, I can relate. Okay, so agenda today, unit tests. So first, before we get to unit testing, so we have to build out, build pages for tab navigation scenario. Typing is hard. In test project. Test hello. Oh. Hello world. Project. Sorry, I took a quick look at this, ran it up, added some stuff to it. The other thing I did is I rebased my branch and my fork. So we're good there. So we'll build pages and then we'll build we'll examine existing UI tests. And then we'll build some new tests. Good stuff, pretty straightforward. All right, so let's get into it. I think I have the project open. Do I have the project open? I do, great. All right, so like I said, I rebased my branch. So I do have all the latest bits in here. So if you're looking for the solution that contains the test project, it's under the E2E. I assume that means end-to-end. I'm sure Dan can confirm or deny that that's end-to-end. So we've got a folder that contains a bunch of different tests in this E2E. We've got Forms, of course, Uno, which was just added, and WPF. And WPF, I think Brian was working on this the other day on his stream. So we're in Forms, and Forms has this Hello World solution. That's what we have up here. It's a pretty straightforward app. If we look at the solution, oh, I've got Prism library loaded in here. That is not what I wanted at all. Okay, so I'm actually going to close this solution. And you know what? We're going to be working with Visual Studio because UI tests work better with Visual Studio, so I'll fire that up. Of course, it opens on the wrong screen. Why would it open on the right screen? I don't think I've ever had my Mac open something on the screen I wanted ever. Which calls for more beer. Hey Glenn, +1 for Visual Studio. Man, don't hate on the Rider. It's great. I mean, I switch back and forth between both. They're both good IDEs. Rider, though, for pure C#, like, just annihilates Visual Studio, in my opinion. Annihilates, like it's not even funny. Like, for example, when you load up a solution in Rider, you actually see the files. You don't just see some kind of weird clip text like it's showing me here. I have no idea what this is doing right now. It's frozen too, so that's nice. Cool, so we're off to a really productive start. Oh, yeah. Dave, the text was backwards. Yeah, I'm reflecting the video just so when I look over at my tablet, it actually looks from your perspective like I'm still looking towards the screen, not looking off screen. I don't know. I just felt like it was better that way. I don't know. Well, okay, so Harrison, VS for Mac has been acting very weird. And Dan says VS for Mac just encourages me to break out the bourbon. Yeah, well, it's too early for bourbon for me. It's only 2 p.m. It's funny. It's this is kind of this isn't something I've seen before. This is like, I feel like there's a dialogue somewhere off screen. Like, is it trying to show me a dialogue somewhere? Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna quit it. Try again. Like, it's not completely unresponsive, but it is unresponsive. It's like the UI doesn't have focus. I might have to mess with screen resolution to get this working. Okay, so it wants to launch on my other screen. So let's let that happen first. Okay, it's loading. Loading. It's doing some really weird cropping of the UI. I really don't understand what it's doing right now. Oh. Okay, here we go. We got it. Hey, victory. It's the little things, you know? It's the little things. Okay, so this is a very straightforward project. Just basically covers the navigation scenario. So if we launch this on the sim, let's get that going. Where is it going to launch the sim? It's launching the sim somewhere completely ridiculous, guaranteed. It's off screen somewhere. This is frustrating. Window management is not fun on a Mac. You know, it's not very fun on a PC either, to be quite honest. What's going on with this? I ran this yesterday, and it keeps complaining about XAML-C. I don't know why it bellyaches so hard about XAML-C. I am going to unload the UWP. I think it might have. Let's try this one more time. Harrison464 says, I'm from Kentucky, so it's never too early for bourbon. Yeah. Dan says, we're going to have to chat more so I can get some hookups. Yeah, I like my bourbon too. I do want to try and be somewhat productive on the stream. Maybe I'll hit that Balmer peak sooner with bourbon. So that's not going to help me. I need to figure out what the hell is going on with the build here. It's failing on XAML-C somewhere. It's acting very strange with the XAML-C lately. I think I went up too high. So I'm just going to search for XAML-C. Go backwards here. So this is actually just pointing out in the targets. Glenn says, clean solutions, nuke bin, OBJ folders. Yeah, that didn't help me last time. I had to actually comment out code. So let's start there. Why not? Okay, so I'm running mfractors. So for me, cleaning output folders will get rid of the bin and OBJ. So there's my options there. Great. Apply. Good. So as soon as you delete bin and OBJ or the output folders, you have to restore your packages. So let's do that. Dave, you attended the 3D printed bionic hand meetup and it was very interesting. Thanks for hosting. Happy to host. I don't know if you caught my preamble at the beginning of that session, but that was very selfish because I didn't want to miss that session. I met Cliff back on, really, it was Christmas Eve. He was in town for a flight because he flies all over the place. So he's in Toronto relatively frequently. And he sent out a message on Twitter. And we met up for coffee and he was telling me about that project, and I just wanted to see more. He was supposed to present at NDC, but of course it was called off. I think he's presented at a previous NDC. So good for him on getting the MVP. He deserves it. That's an incredible project that he's built. Me, on the other hand, I can't even get a project to build. Cool. What is going on? Let's figure out what is going on for real. So I am going to search for that XAML C, so I don't want the target. It's so hard to do this on such a small resolution too, that's not helping me. Yeah, Cliff is a very interesting guy. He's got a lot of cool IoT projects he's delivered. Okay, so last time I did this, I think what I did is I searched. I'm gonna have to go back to Rider for this because search in Visual Studio for Mac. Yeah, Dan, it's not building because I'm pretty sure I know why it's not building. Well, actually, I don't know why. I know why it was building previously. It was building previously because I'd commented out a lot of the XAML C stuff because it was giving me troubles and I was just tired of fighting with it. So I just went through, if it's not gonna compile my XAML, I don't care for now. I just want this to work. I'll look at that offline somewhere because I don't think it's high value for a stream. So I know some of those were skip. I feel like there's more attributes somewhere. All right, let's get back to Visual Studio. Let's try this again. Oh, the frustration. Well, I had this working. Let's see if I can get the sim up here. It's open somewhere. Is it open somewhere? Maybe not. This is still failing. It's a great stream so far. Very productive. More beer. It is almost bourbon time, I think. Okay. Let's take a look around here. So I search for XAML compilation, XAML C, in the Hello World solution. I think I've got it all commented out. Well, I know it's commented out. Here's the challenge. So we've got the sample, but I think the source wouldn't have XAML C in it anymore. Would it, Dan? Validate only parameters not supported by the XAML C task. Verify the parameter exists on the task. Yeah, are we setting? Validate only? Let's search for that. Oh, what is happening? So last time I had to go through and remove XAML compilation from everything. And that got it to work. But clearly that's not helping at this point. I don't know what is going on. Okay, that makes sense that wouldn't build. Oh boy. Okay, so let's quit Rider altogether. Let's quit Visual Studio altogether. Tell you, at this rate, if the sun comes out, I'm just gonna go drink beer in the sun. We'll call this a wash. There's no XAML C in this project at this point. It's commented out. There's no. It's opened the simulator somewhere off. Somewhere off and never off of my display resolution. Let's try that again too. Here we go. Okay, well, at least I can load that up. This beer is helping. So last time I streamed, last Saturday, build successful, okay. Last Saturday when I streamed, I spent, I think it was 3 hours on the stream, and I had one functioning unit test by the end of it, because I had to go through the test structure, how all the fixtures were set up wouldn't facilitate what I needed to check, so I had to go through and kind of re-engineer bits of the testing framework. Okay, so we're good now. Caching something, doing something terrible. Good job, Visual Studio for Mac. Okay, so good lesson there. All else fails, just restart your IDE. So here we go. Oh, of course, it's a different sim. Close that one. Prism Library Sandbox. Works in dark mode. Cool. Okay, so we've got a simple tab view here. Good stuff. And we basically want to test. What I'd like to do on this is add another tab. Have a third tab available. And have like a basic list on there. So I've already started going through those motions. Yeah, turn it off and on again, Dan says, IT 101. Absolutely. It's funny though, even just disabling or commenting out some XAML seed code, Visual Studio is caching something. So we have, I added 2 pages here. So I added an items list page. I added a bunch of stuff. So we added some view models. So pages and view models, added those. We also added some services and some models. So this is very, very simple stuff. So the mock data store just returns a hard-coded list. I guess the first thing I want to do here, really the first thing I want to do here is get rid of these GUIDs and maybe change the shape of that data to be an int, just so it's a little more straightforward. I don't know why it's done with the GUID out of the box, but it's just mock data. Okay, so we'll just number these. The reason why we want these numbers is we want like a really easy to use IDE so we can navigate to one of these, any one of these items and test that. 4 and 5. So yeah, when you call, this has all kinds of mocked stuff. And have to change our everywhere we're using our ID. Bunch of mock stuff so you can add stuff to the return in the static list. So this is just from the Xamarin.Forms template project. Of course, I've got to change my methods. Signatures here. Int and int. I have 2 4s. Thank you, Harrison. Beautiful. Thank you. This is why I like doing this kind of thing. It's like paired programming exercise. Okay, so we have a mock data store that gets our data for our item list and our detail view, really. Does both. So that tabbed page gets loaded. Where do we load that? So let's take a look at what app XAML is doing here. So loads my master detail page / my tabbed page. Now, what's curious about this is my tab page must be coming from a module. Let's see. Let me see. So my tab page. The search in Visual Studio for Mac, I don't know why they haven't figured out how to make it reasonably fast, or just reasonable in general. It's not my favorite. Okay, so it's coming from a module. So it's coming from module A. Cool, so that's actually where we're going to want to add some stuff. Tab page. So I am somewhat, well, mostly unfamiliar with the concept of modules. Like I understand what they do, but I haven't dealt with them. So this is a bit of a learning experience for me, which is awesome. So modules, so they just get referenced, eh? So let's take a quick look at this. So this is something I've been meaning to look at for quite a while. So module, iModule has onInitialized and registered types. So it's a way of self-containing a bunch of UI pieces. So it's modular, hence the clever name. So that's cool. Application commands. Dan says, glad you can finally get to learn a bit with modules. Yeah, I know I should have been looking at this ages ago, but just, you know how it is sometimes. So these commands must get reused. Let's see where the interface is used. Set the scope to current project so it doesn't take forever. Yeah, so it looks like the tab page view model takes it in as a parameter. Looks like a bunch of these. I guess I could have gone find usages, right? That would have been the smart thing to do. This ends up giving me the same thing. Okay, so it's being used in our tab page view model, partial B view model, view A view model, and view B view model. Cool, so these are just basically prepackaged commands. Interesting. Let's see what they're doing, how those are working. Dan says it's composite commands, so you can attach and detach other commands to the composite commands. Right, so you can add a bunch of different commands. And then have them execute. Cool. Very nice. That's cool. Okay, so this doesn't really have a big impact on our code. It's good to understand how this is working. And really what this means is that code that I added is probably going to sit in this module A. So because this module A houses the tab page and the tabs that are visible on that tab page. Save versus save all, yeah. So I'm going to move those pages I brought in. So these two. What we'll do is we'll just do this through the Finder here. Come on, if I can get this computer computer to behave to any degree. Doesn't like it. Let's see. Oh, nothing wants to behave today. Okay, I'm gonna do this off screen, otherwise I'll scream at my computer and end up throwing it out the window or something. So I'm just moving my views and code behind to the module. So I should actually close all files here so it doesn't completely choke, but you can see under views, we now have those newly added views. And I'll do the same thing with view models. Let's bring those over. Cool. So this is where I want to jump back into my I'm going to bring over my models and services. It's the module. Let's do that. Oops. Models and services. Now we have everything we need there. I have to adjust some namespaces, and where I'm going to do that, because these came over from the test project I had originally stood up. So I'm going to change all these namespaces to module A. Whoops, how did that happen? Good stuff. Module A. Wonder if, yeah, there we go. Align namespaces, much better. Same thing here. This is going to be our module A namespace. So this is basically just moving all that stuff over. View model base. We don't have view model base here. Now. Harrison, I just created my first module today. They sure make sense now. I see the value of them more now than ever. Yeah, like having little bits of self-contained UI is pretty damn handy. So what I'm gonna do, Dan, feel free to stop me if I'm making a mess. But I'm bringing over the view model base here. Align that. So we need some of this stuff. We need like a lot of this stuff in order to do our deep linking as we see it. One last namespace to fix, I think. Just double check. Okay, so our view models. View models are almost good. Pages are definitely not good. Module A. Module A. Module A. The same thing, our view model. We have a reference to our view model. I can't remember why we have a direct reference to our view model in this. There has got to be a reason for that. Oh, I think it's doing some, yeah. It's using the the design namespace. Dan says, so here's the thing about a module. Nothing at all says a module has to be UI. You could have a module that only registers services. I have one that just hooks up the error handler for RxUI. Yeah, that makes sense. So it could just be anything you want in a code. You know, anything you want. Any code you want in a module. But it seems inclined to be very nice for UI in particular. You've got UI that's reused across applications, or if you're doing something like building white labeled apps. Okay, so let's go here. We've got one more namespace to fix. Make sure our page isn't puking on us here. We're gonna have to build this. Errors. Yeah, that makes sense. Still have stale namespaces in there. Let's try that again. Almost there. Oh, come on. Item ID needs to be an int. Change that. Okay, should be ready to rock now. Yeah, well that design crap came from my template, or not my template, but the template I used from Xamarin.Forms. And yeah, let's kill that. It's annoying. It's noise that we won't use particularly in this case. Now, I don't have to bring any of this in now. Just gonna be happy. Refresh view. So this is due to our Xamarin.Forms being 3.6. So I upgraded the rest. I won't check in those changes. But I'm definitely gonna upgrade it so it doesn't whine. So Dan, when that other issue, or that other enhancement to upgrade Xamarin.Forms across the project, when that comes through, I'll merge again, or not merge, but rebase. Okay, so what do we got here? Oh, we still have some of this annoying design time data. Whoops, took an extra quote. I like how the default template from Xamarin has a typo in it. See, this is another thing I like about Rider. Rider does spell check right in your code, which is awesome. You can have custom dictionaries and stuff like that. Love it. Title does not resolve to a property in the binding context. Itemless view model. Let's see. Itemless view model. It inherits from view model base. Cool. View model base should have some stuff. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't have a. So this is looking for some stuff we had in our test project. So let's move that over. I'm going to open up Rider again. Hopefully it doesn't ruin my life, ruin my day. Of course, it's going to open on the wrong monitor. Thank you, Mac OS. I love it. So good. So good how you can accurately. Oh, so the splash and the load screen come up on one. Then the IDE comes up on the correct one, and then it disappears. Where did it go? Oh my God. Oh, it's back on the other monitor, but just the corner of it. Cool. I feel like I should reboot my my entire Mac after I switch screen resolution. Maybe that'll help. Okay, anyways, I'm lazy. I don't want to recode things. I just want the busy and the title properties here. Actually, you know what? Before I copy those, these should be using expression bodies. Base view model base, I think it's called. Yeah, view model base. Good stuff. Interesting. I like this. I don't think we necessarily need it because we're not going to be diagnosing the title and busy, but that's kind of nice. All right. That's good. That's complaining, but that's known complaint. Our view is good now. View model's good. Oh, we got some more design time data. Let's rip that out. Don't need MC, D. Expression bodies are just a little more terse, Harrison. So, in particularly when you're doing iNotify property changed and making sure that you're calling the event or firing the event when you're changing your property. Like really, if you're using something like, there's all kinds of mixed opinions on this, but if you're using reactive UI, you can decorate this with an attribute, and reactive UI at compile time uses Fody Weaver to generate your iNotify property change and raise that event. Same thing with, Fody Weaver has it. That's the other tool you can use. Prism has this set property, which is a nice terse method and nice way of calling it. So because you're not using auto properties, or we're not using auto properties in this case, we want this to be really as terse as possible, because this is really just a property that we're exposing to the UI. And the only reason it's like, what is this? 6 lines of code is because we have to make sure that INPC event fires. Otherwise it would be an auto property. So this is really noise and boilerplate, which is kind of unfortunate. That's why there's tooling out there for generating that. Dan, I missed the part of your stream. So Dan and Jerome from Uno Project did a stream on code generation this morning. I only caught bits of it because there's all kinds of crap going on that I had to deal with instead. But they had a little bit on code generation just using the new tooling. So yeah. So what I hear from Glenn is, I know a lot of people are against it, but that is why I put those props in a region. Yeah, I mean, regions, you know why people don't like regions, Glenn? It's because I see developers using it to hide gobs of crappy code. So you come into their class and it looks great because everything's just collapsed in these nice regions, and then you start going through the regions and you start looking at line numbers and you go, oh, there's regions in here because this is 3,000 line class, and I've seen that before, like for real in real life. So regions, yeah, like if you're using them to stay neat, great. I see them abused more than anything. Yeah, regions are a good way to go with it. I really like the code generation aspect of it, but the code generation, as soon as you do that, you lose the ability to call your actions before and after like you can with the Xamarin, or not the Xamarin, the Prism set property. Like this has a before action and a and an after action. So on-changed and on-changing and on-changed action that you can attach code to. So yeah, there's some pros and cons to that. Won't let you do the same sort of IL. So Dan says it won't let you do the same sort of IL weaving, but is really nice with what the source gen will let you do. Yeah, I really want to look at that. I'm going to go back through that, through your session from this morning, Dan, and give that a look. Because, yeah, I think that's very valuable. Okay, so that's the little thing on just using the using expression bodies instead of a full body. It's terse. It's nice. Okay. Let's see. I think we're done with all this stuff now. Yep. Okay, cool. So, mock data store, iData store. We know we're all good on how our pages are set up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add it as a tab here. So I'm going to add, I'm just going to call it what it is. I'm going to wrap it in a navigation page like these ones because we're going to use it to navigate further. I am going to remove this commented code. I don't think it's very valuable. So we're going to use item list view, item list page. Call it items. Items is spelled with a U now. It's crazy times. Might as well start just changing the spelling of things. Why not? Items. All right, so we've got another tab. I'm just going to run this to see what it looks like now. Make sure it's showing us what we want. And make sure it'll navigate us to the detail as well while it's building. You see, build time is great when you have a beer because it's building and get a nice drink. This is good. I really like this. I couldn't see myself drinking more than one. It's like, it's very juicy. I think only one on a hot day or like I had today after a run. It's pretty good. What? Errors? That's not allowed. What's going on now? Look at this. Ooh. Love it. Okay, so what do we got here? Some IOC issues. What? What? I think what I need to do on this is clean it again. So let's try that. Glenn says, I came here for the unit test. Sorry, Glenn. It'll just be a minute. We have to get the code in place here first. I just need to clean this. Because I need to have something to unit test first. That's the whole issue right now. So it's coming. As soon as we verify that this is good, then we can start writing UI tests. It's going to run successfully this time, right? It's going to be great. It's going to be perfect. Oh, okay. I think that's more errors. I think it was 8 errors last time. What is going on here? Container, can I convert? This is all coming from dry IOC extensions. We've got item list page is complaining in our code. Which, oh, I think that's a namespace issue, so let's get that fixed. So item list page, there is, oh no shit, we deleted the class. And by we, I mean I did. But nobody called me on it either when I did it, so, you know, everybody's at fault. Right? That's how this works, right? Okay. Now, if I clean this, gotta clean and rebuild every 5 seconds. Glenn says, yep, my fault, sorry. Glenn, I appreciate your patience and sticking around to watch me fight with this. I swear I will write a UI test. I promise. Even if it's on something completely unrelated. Allergy season makes my ears itch. It's very uncomfortable. Starting to ramp up into peak allergy season here in Toronto. Okay, well at least we're back to 8 errors. Dan, what is going on here? Is this a case of works on my machine? This dry IOC container extension is just not having a good time. This is interesting. This seems to match what has been provided. iContainer provider object. iContainer provider object. What's going on? What is happening? So Prism IOC shared. Prism dry IOC shared. Oh, it's built. Oh, this is why. So all the dependencies this needs isn't in this project. Okay, I get it. I get it. So I have to bring, so basically it's looking at the old version before I rebase because I haven't rebuilt the whole Prism library. Did I load the wrong solution? Oh no, good. So I'm gonna load up Prism. I'm gonna rebuild it, and then we should be okay. Okay, that makes sense. Because it was using the last build of Prism, which was done before I rebased. Now, is this going to completely throw a fit because I've got UWP and WPF projects in here? Let's see. One thing I am going to do is close all. See how we do here. Is it still building? Can't even tell, there's so much going on when I load this project up right now. Load, finish with warnings. Source, forms. Let's build Prism IOC forms. think Rider is going to be particularly friendly to me. I don't know if this is a Rider specific issue. Workarounds targets. Let's go one level lower here. I don't want to run that. Whatever, it'll build it. Yeah, okay. Fine. I'm not gonna update my ZSH right now. So we're gonna go to, let's see, copy path, or not copy path, you know. Absolute, sure, why not? Oh, that's the whole path. I can't remember the name of it, Glenn. The name of my ZSH theme. I could bring it up. I don't want to be distracted. I'm already struggling. I'll get it. Remind me and I'll get it to you on Twitter. Actually, let's make a quick stream note. ZSH theme. Cool. So what did it tell me in that build output? It said .NET build. Oh, instead of .NET build, you need to use desktop MS build. You know what? I feel like this is a Rider issue. Let's kill that. Let's get another instance of Visual Studio going. I never like running 2 instances of Visual Studio, even though it's supported. It's just kind of strange. Yeah, Dan, that was just me misreading the error message like a dummy. Okay, let's see. It's open on the wrong monitor, so I'm just gonna get the solution up before I bring it back over. Now it's doing something else. We're having a good time here today. Oh, that's why I couldn't move windows back and forth. Silly me. I didn't realize I had Visual Studio set up for a full virtual desktop. Whoa. Okay. Let's do this. Sorry. Prism, Xamarin.Forms. Also, I think there's an issue in end-to-end app that I forgot to add the shared container project reference. Yeah, that's likely it. Works fine in CI. Yeah, that's okay. I can add that in. Probably makes sense. The Prism Dry IOC shared needs to be plugged in there. That's what I should have just done to begin with, but yeah. All right. Well, let's do that. That's what I should have done to begin with. Oh, did I just close the wrong project? Nope. Okay, good. Okay, so add existing project. Containers. There's my IOC shared, and we'll add in the share project. See if this gets us any further. Oh, you mean Visual Studio for Mac is changing IDs and all kinds of crazy stuff? Yeah, I'll save that for later. I always check to make sure that my project files don't have any unwanted changes in them. I'm used to that. That kind of fun. So we're at spinning beach ball phase of the live stream, where we just watch Visual Studio fail to do anything constructive. It still didn't close my other instance either. Is that why it's spinning beach ball? Or does it just not love me? Okay, well, comes a time where you just don't want to wait for it anymore. Let's try it again. Microsoft error reporting. Yeah, right. Force quit that too. Okay. Glenn, are you happy you tuned in? Loving watching me struggle today, huh? That's fair. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know we all have these problems. Um, just not a lot of fun when you like really. What I'm trying to do is set aside like this very dedicated, focused time where I can hardcore sit down and just like crank out some code. Some of my sessions have been like, yeah, good, I've cranked out some code. But like a lot of them, like 50% of the time I sit down here, I'm sitting down here for 2 hours, getting very little done because just things don't work. Things are more complex than I expect. All kinds of crazy twists and turns. Tooling doesn't work. My machine doesn't work. You know. You know how it is. Oh no, errors. Oh no. Ah, okay. Items, modules page. Oh, we have to register this in a different area. People are looking at me. I'm supposed to know what I'm doing, and they're gonna think I'm stupid. And I realized I am stupid, so who cares? Yeah, like, I mean, I've been presenting in front of a room full of people for years now, and you know, I know how it is. Um, we all run into these kind of things. I never care. Yeah, I'm the same as you. I am stupid. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Most of the time, I'm just like flailing around, doing whatever. So it's not really so much like I'm self-conscious about it. It's more about like um, it's not even really about who's watching. It's really about like I want to spend my time doing high value tasks, and sometimes struggling with some of this stuff is just does not feel high value. I know it's all part of the process, but you know how it is. Sometimes you're like, can't this just work? It's all good though. We're on track to have so we're hour and 15 in. Actually a little less because I was slow getting started. Didn't really start coding until 15 minutes in. So we're an hour in. 1 hour in, we now have the app configured the way we want it with those pages in it. So I think, anyways, let's see. It's launching now. Okay, so here's our items. Ish. Let's see what's going on here. So what do we got? Save, reset. There's an add button on here. I know we want to get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to collapse the solution. Let's make Visual Studio a little smaller so we can do some hot reloady stuff. Okay, so list page, items list page. I don't know why it keeps snapping that Solution Explorer back open. So is it not rendering this, or what's the deal? So we got a data template. Let's just try putting a box view in there. And let's make it background color. Whoops. Yeah, I agree, Glenn. The sandbox branding is nice. Let's see if it's rendering any rows at all. Oh, I should put that in the stack layout, shouldn't I? Why am I trying to get rid of the add? We don't really need it for this test. So like this is all deep linking, and add is not really part of any deep linking scenario, so I don't think it's necessary. All right, so items must be empty. Let's see if we can debug this. Let's get rid of everything that isn't directly related to what we're working on. Let's open up our list view model. Onload items. Okay, here we go. So onload items, our command. Do we have to pull the refresh to get this up? Nope. Okay. Oh, that's garbage. So I think we just want to call that from our onNavigated too. I don't know why that wasn't already wired up. But anyways, on load items. I think this is async. It's async void. Okay. We don't care. Let's relaunch this. So Glenn, the whole scenario is we want to be able to deep link into one of the individual items on a list as part of a tab. Or really, I think you were around for a previous scenario, so it's really trying to load another page onto the stack using a deep link. So selecting a tab, having that tab page load, and then loading another tab or another page onto the stack after this. So what's going on here? Well, this isn't firing. Almost guaranteed, because we're not navigating to that with the navigation service. Oh, that was Dan, not Glenn. So Dan, that's why I'm trying to get rid of the ad, because it's no low value, right? Or maybe it is. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I thought I had this working where it would actually load here. But that's fine. tab. You're both the Dan, Glenn, tomato, yeah. You both have purple names in the text or in the chat, and you both have names that start with D and are roughly the same characters long. So yeah. What is it? Tab navigation aware? tab navigation aware? Tab active aware? Dan, what's the name of that interface? Let's go consult the Prism documentation. Prism tab navigation. Yeah, see, can I change that? no idea what I'm doing with Twitch. Yes, I am thinking active aware. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Cool. And clearly that is... You never use active aware? Use it all the time on tabs. Go to my tab page. Oh, my tab page, view model. iPage lifecycle aware. I don't think I've ever used that. That's relatively new, isn't it? Interesting. So I guess view model base is already implementing some of these. Oh, navigation aware is there. I hate how the scroll bars work on Mac. Just drives me nuts. Oh, can't even grab it. There we go. iPage lifecycle aware is already there. Oh, that gives us the on appearing. Crazy. I am continuously just stuck on the navigation aware. Okay, so I am going to change these to virtual. Then I don't really need this because it's already implemented in our base. So now I can override on appearing. Don't need any parameters in this one. Still wanted to call that console. Okay, that should get us what we want. While this is loading, I am gonna take a quick beer break. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. So here's what I'm drinking this time. It's another Lost Craft. This is Eclipse. It's a milkshake IPA. It's a strong beer, coming in at 6%. This one's good. Get this going. Very important. Yeah, that's a good one. I like this beer. Cheers, everybody. Glenn, I hope you're having a beer. It is the evening there for you, right? Half as strong as the beers you drink, Dan? I think you're thinking of bourbon. Okay, let's get back to this. All right, so we've got the app up. Let's hope that tab is loading some data the way we expect. It isn't. What is going on? So I think this on appearing is not firing for this. I think this is the whole deal with tab navigation and why I use iActiveAware. I think that's the one I think that's the event I'm using. I'm going to cheat. Not going to cheat that way. Cheat in. Just going to look at another project really quickly. Borrow some code potentially. Borrowing project code. So, just bear with me for a minute. Right. I have a whole base tab view model that I tend to use. Yeah, iActiveAware. So I'll actually just bring this in because why not? Tab, view, model, base. Oh, it's got all my services and junk in it. So I think this doesn't have any dependencies. Yeah, it's using the default constructor. So we can pretty much get rid of. Oh, I've got my weak event handler in there too. Oh, I don't necessarily want to bring this crap in. So much noise. So much noise. Well, so I want ActiveAware because I'm basically using it to detect. So I've got these methods here for tab activated. Yeah. No event to hook into to load items. That's exactly it. So if I use, let's bring in the rest of my, this is something we don't need anymore. Yeah, unappearing isn't firing. So let me just do this. Let's comment that whole file out. Let's go to our item list. So I've got unappearing here. We'll launch this. And you know what? Let's even set it here just in case something else is going awry. So unless, Dan, unless I'm doing something wrong, yeah, that is a lot of boilerplate. Yeah, like I'm totally open to different ideas, but unappearing isn't firing at all. I'm wondering if this view model is even loading, to be honest. So let's see. Let's take a quick look at view A. Make sure I'm not missing anything obvious here. So AutoWire view model, I know I'm not setting that in mine, so maybe that's the difference. Yeah, breakpoint in the constructor, good call. Let's do that. Well, we've got a constructor here that's taking the navigation service. So that's good. So we should be able to hit that. So let's try it. I don't think it is. I don't think I have AutoWire view model set to true in my pages. Yeah, so it's not even instantiating that. So, yep. Cool. Let's see what we can do then. So let's go back to our module, or not our module, pages, views, and throw in AutoWire view model. Want to opt out. Yeah, see, that was my thinking too. It should be auto-wiring the view model. Anyway, I'm not doing any of that. Yet it's not wiring up my view model. So it's registered for navigation just like any other page. It should be looking like it's in the correct namespace, my view models. Or let's look specifically at item list view model. So it's in the right namespace. It's in view models. So it should be using reflection to find that, right? Explicitly specify the view model type. It's with the type of syntax, right? Register for navigation. That's a view and page. All right. So this is the syntax. Item list view model, item list view model. Oh, hold on. View A, view model. Oh, it's because I'm not using page in the view model name. That's why. Right? Yep. Item detail page view model. Cool. Now we should be good. Follow the pattern the magician will help you with. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I gotta go back and look at that. Watch that tonight. A lot of FODI. A lot of generated IL. Yeah, there we go. Stupid. Still didn't hit my on appearing, but let's see. Okay, now it does. Perfect. Okay, so lesson learned, on appearing. Good, now I can get rid of that stupid box view. Thank you, Dan. Cool, now let's see. So we'll get rid of that box view that we were just using to test. Oh no. El Crasho. Why? It just didn't like me changing that template at runtime. Okay. Fine, hot reload. Fine. We can drop those. All right, it did drop those breakpoints. Okay, here we go. All right, so now it's not navigating to our event. So on item selected is not firing, or if it is firing, it is breaking. Let's see what's in our application output first. Where is our application output? It gone. Pads. Application output. Okay, well, it's not logging an exception. Let's see if our event's firing. It's funny, I thought this was just going to be a drop in and go. Yeah, see, our event is not firing. Okay, so what's our event called here? Item selected. Sorry, our command. Item selected command. So if we look at our view, too much noise going on again. Close some windows. Okay, so we have a gesture recognizer on our stack layout. We're using a relative source. So this is the new relative source that we're using to get at the view model. Oh, I see. This is why we had a reference to the view model. Okay, so let's first fix this item list page view model, and then let's bring in the view model. So we removed this because we thought it was being used for the design time data, when really it was being used for that relative source. So XMLNS VM equals module A view models. Okay, should help. So Dan says there's a lot we need to do with IL. CodeGen has some limitations that would make the magician more like a 5-year-old with a magic book rather than Harry Houdini. Yeah, that's fair. Cool. Okay, this is good. So it was that relative source. Okay, so good. There we are. Hey, Glenn, guess what? We're going to write a UI test. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, so I'm happy with this now. We have a working app with the pages that we want working. Glenn is happy, says woohoo, because we're going to run some actual unit tests. Some UI tests. So where is our test pane? Let's make sure we got that up. Pads. Unit tests. I don't know why it's over there, but that's fine. Let's build our test project. See where that's at. Cool. Let's actually let's run our iOS tests. See how that goes. All three failed. Cool. It's not using the detection bits. So let's see how that's framed out. So let's see, test. It's going to be in our test base. How many times am I going to open the wrong pane here? Base page. That's pretty standard stuff. App manager, right. It's been a while since I've done any of this, so this is nice again. Start app. So the funny thing about this, add an app project and just have it wire up automatically, so we don't have to fill any of this out. Give it a path. So I think this is going to help us actually run it. Let's see what we can do. Let's try that again. I like how it's a Twitch path, Dan, that hard-coded path. Oh, the thing about this workstation compared to my office is it's not exactly ergonomic. Oh, you wrote this with Sweeky on Twitch. Nice. I only caught a little bit of that one. Sweeky's awesome. She is a machine when it comes to the DevOps stuff. I first met Sweeky when I was sent to Microsoft invited some partners back when Xamarin was first acquired. Invited us to Bellevue for like a 3-day intensive session. And this is, I don't know what this is doing. It might be caught in some kind of loop. Let's see what it does here. I met Sweeky in as part of this kind of code camp thing. It's great. That whole Mobcat team I got to meet. They had all kinds of awesome tips. So I don't know what's going on here. Oh, good. I should have put a REPL in somewhere. So we got app launches, that works. It's still running though. I don't know why it's, there is a REPL test. Oh, it's the last one. Okay, so app launches, good. Now it's gonna navigate to view B. Okay, it's just working. I think my machine is struggling. Fan's going pretty good. It's likely why this is running pretty slow. Some more beer breaks. Navigate to view B. Cool. Success. And now we've got the REPL. Cool. So once a REPL comes up, what I'll do is I'll inspect the UI and I'll compare the navigate to view B to what we want to do with our item detail with a specific item. Cool. Here's a REPL. Yes, Dan, I have an iPad that is running Sidecar right now. What's an iPad gonna do for us? Oh, you want to see with more tabs along the bottom? Test those scenarios. Oh, okay, cool. Is there an open item for that? Dan, the Navigate to View B test on iPad? If there's an issue for that, and you assign it to me, I will definitely take it. If you want to enter an issue and assign it to me, I would love to keep track of it. Okay, app dot. It's been a while since I touched this. Oh man. This is my point of shame with Xamarin, is how little UI test I've actually done. In my years working with Xamarin. I've done, and really there's never, or I shouldn't say never, there's been very little budget for testing. And you know, testing is kind of funny, UI testing, because it tends to be pretty brittle in a real life app. Okay, so I just did a query on nothing just to bring us back the whole damn page. So I want to see what's at the bottom there. Yeah, nobody ever wants to budget. Yeah. You know, I have the one project that I did have budget for testing. I found it really interesting because I found that the tests got really, really brittle, or they were very brittle, and broke very often. And I ended up kind of going towards a path of like a golden path test scenario. So we would test like just the primary scenario. Oh, I can't remember how to do this. What do I have an X? D, what is it? I want to get, so I'm looking for the one that's, oh, marked. It's been so long. Hey, we did it though. It's been so long, but apparently I do have some memory of this place because here we are. Dan says, testing is meant to validate happy paths and maybe some edge cases you care about. Doesn't replace the need to have someone who's actively trying to break stuff. I 100% agree, and you know, it also doesn't cover bad UX. You can't automate test for bad UX. That being said, I am about to engage a client who has a test suite, a UI test suite that runs and takes 14 hours to run. So I'm very interested to see what that looks like. Very interested. Okay, so we get two that are coming back with the label. Now, I wonder if we just take first, dot first, dot tap. Son of a bitch. It's because yeah, they seem like an interesting bunch. I had an initial meeting with them. They talked about how they're testing and where their tests are, and it seems like they're They haven't optimized their flow, and they really need somebody to help them with that. So that's going to be my job. Okay, so let's take a look at what's already in here. So I'm so rusty on these tests, I can't even remember how to tap one of these buttons. So let's take a look at the actual test to see what they're doing. So REPL app launches, navigate to view B, so view A, so this navigate to view B, this is nice. So this is using page object pattern. So the page object pattern means that you model your pages into classes and have nice little methods here that allow you to take action on specific pages, which is cool. So app.tap, navigate, view B. Right, so it's app.tap, and then with that query, that marked query. So let's actually go back to our REPL. It's still open. So app.tap. Then we can put app.query. This isn't going to work. So this is app.tapped. So see, it's waiting for this to appear on page, and then it's tapping it. But because we're looking for things that actually, when we look for items, it has two things that. Sure you have automation IDs on any new stuff you added. Yeah, good call, Dan. I will. Because currently, our items. Oh, we can search for items text. So let's see. App.tap x.text. Yeah, text. Items. Cool, so that actually taps us into our tab that we wanted. I deserve a beer. Cool, so that's good. So, but that's not really what we're testing. So really what we want to do here is we want to test, we want to have basically a button somewhere else in the app. So probably on that view A, we'll add a button. So let's see. This is interesting. We have REPL running. I'm going to go into one of our modules and change a page. Let's see what that does. Because really what I want to do here is I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a navigate command in here that navigates us to demo dialog. Okay, so this is going to be navigate to items. Item 2, sure. So items, item detail 2. So then our navigation path, and this is the new thing, is going to be items. This is certainly something I haven't tested like this. Items, item detail. Is it item detail? This is where things get dodgy. It's not registered as items. It's item list page. Item detail page. So this is the delimiter, this pipe, which tells it to put another page on the stack. And then we'll give it a query parameter, ID equals 2. There's absolutely no way, absolutely no way this is going to work. But we're going to test it anyways. So first let's test it outside of the REPL, I guess. Let's see, there's no way this hot reloaded did it. No. So let's quit our REPL. Quit. So our tests were all good. So we ran our tests, awesome. Now let's see if that change we made to the UI is good. One thing I found after we did, so Dan says, one thing I found after we did the platform query is kind of silly because you can just add an automation ID on the page with the name of the page, and it makes it so simple to validate you have the page you want, regardless of whether you're on iOS or Android. Absolutely, yeah, the automation IDs are great. And the platform query has become crazy complicated if you're not careful. So I'm not confident this is going to work. I didn't even realize there was a markup extension for select tab. So there's no way this is going to work. It's just going to do nothing. Yeah. But because we're hot reloading and we have a markup extension, we can do some fun things with this. So let's do this. Let's just put another button on here. So the second button is going to use select tab. And instead of doing this, because I don't think, it doesn't necessarily like that, we can use a command parameter. Can we use a command parameter for this? You know what? Let's take it one step at a time. Yeah. And this is just really item detail. Cool, so here we go. Okay, so it doesn't like that. Let's simplify that. Item list page. Cool, so it'll select item list. But it's kind of interesting. I think what we want to do is actually have something in the view model handling this. Yeah. Oh, with single quotes. Let's try that. Okay, so let's go back to view A. So this one, no good. Items works. Let's make this item detail. So item list, and then we're using the new pipe syntax to go item detail. Right, so this does have a full query string. Thank you, Dan. Gotcha. This is using select tab. So let's see how select tab works. Yeah, see, it won't handle that. So this is kind of interesting because this is exactly why we're doing this. Testing some of the more nuanced scenarios. Dan, I really hate this pipe stuff. Yeah, well, it's precedence, right, at this point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to stop this. I want to see the full, I want to see what this is really doing. So I'm going to do a binding to, let's just call this the item detail navigation command. And then we can give it a command parameter. model. We'll go to the view model here and we'll set up a new command. Let's do that. If Visual Studio decides it wants to work for me. Did I do this? Did I move view A in here? You know, sometimes Visual Studio just goes crazy and just decides it's going to move some classes around. So I really wouldn't be surprised. Okay, back to sane land here. Okay, what do we got? Oh, we actually have a navigate command. Cool, well, let's use that. I assume okay, I'm going to add in here if actually get the result. Result dot check if it's not successful. Dan, you blame Brian for the pipe. Yeah, well, you know, Hugh's here first, right? You should blame some poor sap who's contributed to the project and moved on. Oh, this navigate is hard-coded. Oh, oh no. Why? Is this even being used? I doubt this is being used. Navigate command. This was done before the markup extension guaranteed. So now really what we want is string. Let me check to make sure it's not being used here. Ah, it is being used. Son of a... Okay, well, it's navigating specifically to what? Where did it go? Why can't I see it? Navigate. View C. Navigate to view C. This one we're just going to call navigate. We'll take in a string URL. And then instead of using select tab, we'll use navigate async. Pass in our URL. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Dan says make it generic. And that's what I was on the path to doing anyways, so yeah. So view C. But it was using select tab, that's the thing. It's actually testing something different. So I'd rather just keep, I'm just gonna keep it. I know it's gross-ish. I don't know, it's a test project, right? It's fine. It's not that gross. It's fine. Navigate to view C. Navigate to view C command. Navigate to view C. Delegate command string. So there, we've got our navigate command set up. Yeah, select tab. Select. Yeah, let's. And this will take a string. I don't know why I'm putting the string in the wrong place here. That's what's. Need more beer. I haven't hit that Balmer peak yet. Been too busy hacking away. Not drinking enough beer. Okay, select tab command. So yeah, let's use that. I like that a lot better, Dan. Good call. I love this. I love these live streams. The paired programming aspect of it is phenomenal. It's really great to be able to team up with people and solve these problems. Glenn, yep, sorry. Sorry again, my fault. Need to call that string out. Hey, Glenn, apology accepted, man. So we'll just call this tab name. That's a little more accurate there. And then we'll pass in view C, select tab async. Cool, and then we're actually writing out the exception here if something goes wrong. And we've got a generic navigate event or command as well. Good, we're set up for success. So let's use this. Flip back over here. Select tab, and this is going to view C, so command parameter view C. Cool, and then over here we're going to use navigate command, and here in our parameter we're going to give it this, the item list. Now the way I've been doing this, it's been kind of interesting because I've been giving it the tab page from the start. So let's see how this works. I'm about ready to call it quits here. It is sunny and warm outside, and feels very spring-like out with the way light is streaming into my home, and bet you my deck is hot. So I think it's just a matter of time before I call it quits here. I'll be back on tomorrow at 2 to continue on with this goodness. So navigate, even the label's kind of funny. Either way, it works. Okay, so let's quickly change that. Where do we have that? Navigate. Select. Oh, I didn't want that. I didn't say bind. Select tab. Select view C tab. Select tab C, same as this one. This one's called navigate button though. Naming. It's doing the same thing, except for this is doing it using XAML. Select tab C. Okay, that's fine. Select tab C. Let's check out our, just called it item detail. Yeah, that's not working. That's okay, we kind of expected that. Why does my application output pane keep disappearing? Here we go. Let's actually clean that and do it again. Okay, where's application output? Like, am I blind? Does it just, is it not pinned properly and it just keeps disappearing? Yeah, that's the deal. Okay, here it is. So, what do we got here? Prism navigation. No page registered with provided key. Unexpected error. Resolving system object. Service name, so it's not parsing that correctly. Implementation type is not specified when using the automated constructor. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure we can solve this by using a absolute path. So I just want to try that quickly. So my tabs page. So let's go /my tabbed page, and then we'll do select tab equals now I'm pretty confident this is going to work. So let's see. Okay, so that doesn't work. Let's see what we get in output. Fire that again. No page has been registered with the provided key. That's funny. Not even parsing it out properly. Page navigation, create from segment. So this is the work that we're trying to test. So far doing some functional testing with this has already shown some cracks in what we've implemented. Okay, well, you know, I think it's time for me. 2 hours in. I'm going to be back at this tomorrow. So we'll work on cleaning up what we did. Yeah, this is blowing up. Making some additional changes. We'll debug this in the page navigation service and get that cleaned up. And get it working from a functional perspective, and then build a unit test around it, or a UI test around it. But we've made a pretty solid start. So we've got our functional testing in place, cleaned up some existing pieces. Let's actually make some notes. So what did we do today? Let's see. So this is my to-do. Glenn, I will get you my ZSH theme. So what do we do? So we brought our list detail page into the module, Hello World, Module A project. Added additional, or added new dependencies into Hello World solution. We cleaned up, so we actually, like, I should note what I've actually learned. So looked at Prism modules for the first time, which is awesome. And then, so we brought in the new dependencies, we get it all building, we explored the existing UI test, explored existing UI tests, which is great. Ran. Yeah, I'm gonna start using Prism modules like crazy, Dan, because like really half of the stuff I build should be just modules I pull in from my own private repo. Explored existing UI tests. Ran successfully. Then we created test navigation buttons in Hello World. And then we also, what was the other piece? Found issues with the navigation flow. Dan says there are lots of benefits because you break it out, you can build, test, package modules outside the app you're shipping them in. Yeah, it's awesome. Keeps it modular, right? Not just a clever name. Teams, it helps keep people from conflicting with each other. Absolutely. All right. So next stream. Diagnose issues with page navigation service that were identified in the button. From Hello World. Cool. All right, well, thanks for joining, everybody. It's been fun. I will be back at it tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, so same time. Oh, Tobias, I'm just seeing your messages now. I haven't been monitoring the chat very well. Tobias was messaging from Twitter. So apparently that Twitter gets some views because we had Almir Vuk join in from that and Tobias. So yeah, great to hear from both of them. I know they're both avid Prism users as well. So that's cool. All right, well, be back at it tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your Friday. Bye for now.